Welcome everyone here. Now today we'll see this various enzymes which helps in the process of DNA replication. I said you DNA replication is a very complex process which involves a lot of enzymes. A lot of enzymes will be helping in the replication of DNA. So what are those enzymes and how they help in DNA replication? We said there are many enzymes. So what are those many enzymes and how they help in replication of DNA. So you understand this properly and you will be able to get the process. It will be helpful in the easier understanding of the process of replication. Okay, so now the enzymes which helps in DNA replication. The first enzyme which helps in DNA replication is helicase. Helicase enzyme. Okay. So helicase is the enzymes which helps in opening of coil. DNA is a very coiled structure. DNA is a coiled structure. Okay. So this coil has to be opened up. This coil has to open up. So to open up this coil, who will be opening this coil? So this coil should be opened. This is coil now, these two strands should be separated. So who will start to separate, who will open this coil? Helicase. Helicase is the enzyme which helps in opening of coil or unwinding of coil. And how it will do? By breaking, because here in between these now hydrogen bonds will be there. In between this, see here. This is another. So in between now hydrogen bonds will be present, base pairs will be there, hydrogen bonds will be there. So these hydrogen bonds will be broken and the strand will open. So this helicase will open the strands by breaking the hydrogen bonds, by breaking the hydrogen bonds. Okay. So now after it breaks, even after opening also, there will be some tension in the strand. Even after open now, again if you keep it, again the strand will uncoil. Even after opening up, if you keep it like this now, because it is already coiled for much time, so there will be tension. Even after opening also, it will again go back. It will again go back. So to help it not go back, not coil again, that is to help to uncoil, keep it stable, keep it straight, not getting coiled again. Another enzyme is there which is called as topoisomerase. Okay. After opening it now, after opening the stand should be like this. It should not be like this. It should not be like this again. So to remove this tension, here what happens is, this topoisomerase is the enzyme which removes the tension, which removes this coiling. Now even after it opening up, because of this enzyme now, the strands will be straight. It will not wind again. The strands after opening also, it will not wind again. It will be straight. How this is done? By cutting. If this is here now, it will cut, rotate it and again join it. Cut, rotate it, again join it. So this is how it will remove the tension and keep the strand straight. So after opening up, the strand should be as it is. It should not go back to its original way. So now to do this, we have topoisomerase. How it will remove the tension? It will cut the DNA, okay, rotate it so that it does not coil again, and then again join it. It will cut, rotate, join. So like this it will remove the tension and keep the helix straight and stable. So that is the enzyme topoisomerase. Okay. Afterwards, along with this topoisomerase, one more enzyme is there which will help in the stabilizing, of the DNA strand. So that is single stranded stabilizing protein. So it unwinds. It helps this topoisomerase, both this topoisomerase and this single stranded stabilizing protein. They both help each other and they keep the strand stable straight so that it does not coil again even after separation. It does not coil again. So that enzyme is topoisomerase and single stranded stabilizing protein or enzyme. The next enzyme which helps is ligase. I said the topoisomerase will remove the tension by cutting, rotating and joining again. So the joining of this DNA pieces is done by the enzyme ligase. Joining of the cut pieces of DNA. Topoisomerase will remove the tension by cutting the DNA. So that cut DNA should be again joined together. It should not be left like this, cut pieces, small pieces. It should be joined again. So that joining of the cut pieces of DNA will be done by the ligase. Will be done by the enzyme ligase. Ligase is a joining enzyme which helps in joining. So what it is joining here? It is joining the cut fragments of DNA. It is joining the cut fragments of DNA. Okay. Now the next enzyme which helps is DNA polymerase 1. DNA polymerase 1. So how it helps? It helps in removal of primer and filling of gaps. It helps in removal of primer and filling of gaps. Primer is nothing but a small sequence of RNA, a small segment of RNA nucleotides is there. So that will be, before the process of replication starts first RNA formation will take place, and onto this RNA new DNA will be attached. Okay. After new DNA is attached, the primer will be removed. The primer will be removed. So to this removal of primer, this which enzyme helps? RNA polymerase. When you see the actual process, you will be knowing how this primer is removed, why this primer is removed. So it will be removing the primer and replacing this primer with the DNA nucleotides. That is nothing but filling gap, because if we remove the primer, there will be gap. So that gap will be filled with new DNA nucleotides. The gap will be filled with new DNA nucleotides. Coming to this, primase. Another enzyme which helps is primase. This will help in the primer synthesis. This will help in the synthesis of primer. I already said you what is primer. Primer is a small segment of 7 to 8 RNA nucleotides. Okay, it will be formed and it will be attached to the strand of DNA, and after the work is done, this primer will be removed by this enzyme DNA polymerase 1. Okay. At the starting, work was there. This new nucleotides has to be attached to the DNA. So for that purpose, RNA primer was synthesized by the enzyme primase. Okay. After the work is done, after nucleotides has attached to the strand of the DNA, here this primer will be removed. When it is removed, the gap will be there. That gap will also be filled by this DNA polymerase 1. Gap will be filled by DNA polymerase 1. Now coming to another enzyme. This is DNA polymerase 3. This is the actual enzyme which helps in the synthesis of DNA. Because in DNA replication, a new strand of DNA is synthesized. During the process of replication, a new strand of DNA is synthesized. So which enzyme is actually helping in the synthesis of new strand? That is DNA polymerase 3. DNA polymerase 3. Actually, this DNA polymerase 3 is a very large unit. This is made up of small subunits. 3 small subunits together combine and make a very big molecule, which is nothing but DNA polymerase 3. So actually this DNA polymerase 3 is a very big unit, okay, which consists of 3 small subunits. So this enzyme has 3 small subunits in this. So first subunit is alpha subunit. First is alpha subunit. So this alpha subunit helps in formation of bond between nucleotides. For example, this is one nucleotide and this is another nucleotide. So a bond is formed between 1 and 2, because otherwise if there is no bond means it will be separated. If we want a continuous chain of nucleotides, then bond should be formed between these two nucleotides, because if there is no bond now, the nucleotides will be separated, it will be moving here and there. We want a long chain of DNA nucleotides because we want a new strand of DNA. So for formation of new strand of DNA, we need nucleotides joined together, because nucleotides join, then only a nucleic acid DNA will be formed. So for joining these two nucleotides by formation of the bond is formed between these two nucleotides, and these two nucleotides will join. Then again one more nucleotide, bond will be formed, again one more nucleotide, bond will be formed. So like this, a long chain of nucleotides will be formed with the help of the formation of bonds. So who will be helping in the formation of these bonds? So this alpha subunit helps in the formation of bond between nucleotides. Okay. I said you it consists of 3 subunits. First subunit is alpha subunit. Okay. Next subunit is epsilon. Next subunit is epsilon. This is the sign. Epsilon subunit. So what does epsilon subunit helps? It helps in proofreading and correction. It helps in proofreading and correction. Once the two new strands are formed, so now it will check whether the new strands form has the proper complementary sequences or not. Okay, if it is proper, then no correction is needed. But if there is something, some nucleotides formation, bond formation is not proper, and there is different nucleotides have been formed bond, so that is not correct. For example, if A is bond with T, G is bond with C, then this is the correct sequence. But instead of T, if A is joined by C, then this will be read that this is wrong sequence, and after reading it will be corrected. It will be corrected, that is C will be replaced by T. So this is called as proofreading and correction. So who will help in this proofreading and correction? This enzyme, that is epsilon subunit, will help in proofreading and correction. Okay. Now the third unit is beta subunit. Third is beta subunit. It helps in sliding clamps, because when two strands are separated, they should be kept separated, and this DNA polymerase should bind to the strand. So it will help the DNA polymerase to attach to the DNA strand. It will help the DNA polymerase to attach itself to the strand. So it is like clamp, it is helping in attaching. Something is there, so onto which the DNA polymerase will come and attach. So these three together will make one big enzyme. The small enzymes together make one big unit, that is nothing but DNA polymerase 3. So this is the actual enzyme which helps in the work, and it consists of 3 enzymes which will be doing 3 different functions: alpha subunit, beta subunit, and epsilon subunit. Okay. Now the next enzyme is phosphorylase. Next enzyme is phosphorylase. This phosphorylase helps in the addition of phosphate. Actually, before DNA replication, nucleotides will be in inactivated form. Okay, so they will be having only one phosphate in them, adenine monophosphate, guanine monophosphate, only one phosphate is there. Okay, and they will be in the inactive state. So if we want this new DNA nucleotides, then those nucleotides should be active. To make the inactive nucleotides active, 2 phosphates should be attached. Okay, adenosine monophosphate, only one phosphate was there, and to this molecule which is having only one phosphate, 2 more phosphates has to be attached. Then it will become adenosine triphosphate, guanosine triphosphate. Okay. So addition of 2-phosphate is required to activate the nucleotides. So who will help in the addition of 2 phosphates? This enzyme phosphorylase will help in the addition of phosphates. This enzyme phosphorylase helps in the addition of phosphates. Okay. Now the last one, that is nuclease. It helps in proofreading. Here along with epsilon subunit, this nuclease will also help in proofreading. It will also help in proofreading. So these are the various enzymes which will help in the process of DNA replication. So DNA replication takes place in various steps. The first step of DNA replication is activation of nucleotides by the phosphorylase. After activation of nucleotides, simultaneously the strand starts to open with the help of the helicase. After opening up, tension will be there in the strand, which will be removed by topoisomerase and single stranded stabilizing proteins. Okay. Now after opening of the strand, primer formation will, okay, and this removes the tension. With the how it removes the tension? By cutting, rotating, and for cutting it requires ligase. So for second step, that is in opening of the strand, first step is activation of nucleotides by phosphorylase. The second step of DNA replication is opening of strand, which is done by this helicase, opening topoisomerase, removing the tension by cutting and rotating and releasing. So after cut is made, then it has to join together. Those cuts has to be joined together, because cut pieces will not be there. We need one proper strand, complete strand. So the cut pieces, after removing the tension, the cut pieces has to be joined together, which is done by ligase. So all these 4 enzymes helps in the second step of DNA replication, that is opening of the DNA strand. Okay. Then what happens? RNA primer will be formed. The third step is primer formation. A primer will be formed with the help of the enzyme RNA primase, that is primase. After this primer is formed, the nucleotides will be attached to this primer with the help of this DNA polymerase 3. Which unit helps? This alpha subunit helps in the formation of bond between nucleotides. To this primer, new nucleotides will be attached. How they will be attached? By the formation of bonds between the nucleotides. So once nucleotides are attached and long chain is formed, this enzyme DNA polymerase 1 will help in the removal of primer. Okay. When this primer is removed, gap will be there, and that gap will be filled with again new DNA nucleotides. So a long sequence of nucleotides will be formed. Okay. Then coming to this one, we have seen this. After this primer is removed, so 2 new strands have been formed, 2 new continuous long chain of nucleotides have been formed. Then the final will be proofreading. Okay. After removal of DNA primer, new strands will be formed, and then proofreading will be done. So during this proofreading, the sequence will be read. If the sequence is correct, it is okay. If the sequence is incorrect, it will be read and it will be corrected. So for this, we require this enzyme, that is this epsilon unit of DNA polymerase 3 and this enzyme nuclease. They both will help in proofreading. Okay. And this beta unit, this is also helping in the second step only, by giving this clamps, so that the DNA polymerase attaches itself to the strand. So this was about the various enzymes which helps in DNA, and these were the various steps which takes place during the DNA replication. Now in the next class, we will take the further topics.